Hi, welcome to the second class of the Itire Project Training Course working with children and families from a refugee background in early childhood and care services. You can find additional information about the Itire project and the training course on the project website. Research on working with refugee children and families in early childhood and care services is still scarce. However, some investigation has shed light on some pivotal points. Tobin describes some typical features of working with the refugees in early childhood services. Among them, matches and mismatches between migrant and host cultures. In different countries, different groups are the stigmatized other, the group on whom anxieties and hostility most easily are projected. Intersectionality of migration status with race, class, and culture. Immigrant parents' perspectives on early childhood education need to be understood as reflecting not just their status and experiences as immigrants, but also their socioeconomic class and cultural and religious beliefs. Ecological decision-making. Immigrant parents' preferences for their children's early childhood educational experiences reflect their assessment of the challenges and affordance of their local communities. Immigrant parents living in communities new to immigration encounter more different challenges than parents that live in communities in big cities such as New York, London, or Paris, which have a long continuous experience of immigration. Parental pragmatism. Most parents who are new migrants or refugees know that they do not have the luxury of finding the perfect ECEC program for their child. Instead, they find themselves needing to make trade-offs in decisions about the best child education and care option for their children. The teacher's dilemma, best practice versus cultural responsiveness. ECC practitioners who have a strong professional commitment to a play-based, child-centered, constructivist curriculum often have to resist the wishes of parents who want more emphasis on academics. ECC educators often face multiple challenges in dealing with children and families from a refugee background. A recent study examines the experience concerning the establishment of new ECC services for recently arrived refugee children in Germany, the so-called Bridging Projects program. The program analysis helps identify some of the most common challenges for educators working with refugee families. Among them, structural features of a childcare group. In some areas, challenges are related to structural features like lack of accessibility of the childcare programs, inadequate premises, lack of good educator-child ratios, and lack of equipment for a childcare group. Interpersonal stress. Educators can experience conflict with children and their parents when they directly confront with the psychosocial needs of families with a refugee background. Consequently, some educators find it especially difficult to deal with the circumstances of refugee families who experience the deportation, bereavement, or other psychosocial challenges. Feasibility and attendance of refugee families. It is common to experience fluctuation in the service attendance of children from a refugee background. Some families can also seem unreliable and not very connected with the service. In this regard, Mitchell and Uko emphasize the high levels of mental distress of refugees combined with low perception of self-agency might hinder parental engagement in ECC services. Moreover, the level of family engagement is also influenced by cultural differences in parents' educational aspiration and childcare practices. Cultural and communication barriers. It is well known that language and cultural barriers can hinder successful communication with families from a refugee background. Both educators and parents often perceive these barriers as the main obstacle in developing stable cooperation in early childcare programs. There is not an easy way to solve the problem, especially in services where refugee families are demographically and ethnoculturally diverse. Providing language mediators that can support communication between educators, children, and parents is an effective solution. Their contribution should be included in the provision of ECEC service.